Before I get started today, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
You son of a bitch.
And let me know what you think about the new backdrop. As you can see, I kind of expanded my VHS display. So I haven't done a movie review in a little while, and I kind of missed it, to be honest. I've been trying some new things with the channel, but I'll always come back to reviewing movies because it is one of my passions in life. And this week, I decided to review Coming to America, considering there is an incredibly delayed sequel coming later on this week. I have to admit, I had a reaction watching Coming to America this time around that I didn't quite expect. It might come off as a hot take, so be warned. But watching it this time, it felt much more like a romantic comedy than it does a typical Eddie Murphy comedy vehicle. I obviously have a lot of love for Eddie Murphy. I use him in my outro. I used to use him in my intro.
Come on and experience some of my bullshit.
But I have to be honest, Coming to America is not as high on my Eddie list as it is on some other people's. Of course I'm going to explain why, but let's talk about the positives first. Eddie is of course always a joy to watch, but I think his chemistry with Arsenio Hall in this movie is the highlight of the movie. When they're in a scene together, you can just tell that they're having fun. They're improvising and they're playing off each other, and that makes their comedic moments together feel that much more natural.
What does dumb fuck mean?
Also, there is a lot of comedy in this movie that would make PC culture's head explode, and that's always a good thing. It's kind of nice to watch a movie from a different time when you could do comedy and nothing was off the table. When people weren't so uptight and offended about everything, I miss those times. I mean, Prince Akeem in this movie literally has a female penis cleaner. People today would lose their minds over something like that. But if you actually watch it within the context of this movie, they're making a joke about people who live these extravagant lifestyles, and about the ridiculous things that they require each day. In fact, Akeem's character is built around the idea that he wants to escape all that. He does make a comment, however, about how he enjoys the bathing more than anything else.
The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
I like it when comedies break the fourth wall and kind of acknowledge the audience. I think comedy is the most interactive genre of film. You want to form that connection with the audience because you want them to find the things you're doing to be humorous. I mean, when Eddie stops in the middle of a dialogue exchange and looks at the camera, he's basically saying, I know this is ridiculous, but I hope you're all having fun.
Ha ha, very funny, motherfucker.
I also love the scene in the nightclub where they're meeting this endless line of women, and each one is crazier than the last. Single life is hard, folks. I'm glad I'm married. I like all the side characters that Eddie and Arsenio play with the makeup effects on. Eddie does use this technique to death in other movies later in his career, but in this one it has two young comedians and it's showing their dedication to what they're doing. They're willing to put in the extra work and play these extra characters in order to make the movie that much better and that much more funny. Okay, now on to the negatives, and this is where I just have to be honest.
Fuck me, right?
I never noticed this when I watched it before, but this movie uses a lot of very generic story details. It's a fish out of water tale. Akeem is a rich prince and he wants to live like a poor person, and it comes off almost like this weird social experiment. And I've just seen that in many movies before. To be fair, a lot of those movies might actually have been copying Coming to America, but that doesn't change the fact that it was just a little bit less effective this time around. We've also seen the tale about someone who is in a prearranged marriage and wants to find real love on his own. I feel like the character of Akeem, and it does allow Eddie to show a little bit of range, but at the same time he can't be the Eddie Murphy we know because of the character. Like, it feels like the Barbershop Crew, who I love, was created just so Eddie could be the Eddie Murphy that everyone knows.
Pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis?
The Brown Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
Akeem is not a confident character, he's not a cocky character, he's not a brash character, so Eddie has to be much more reserved throughout the course of the film. Now don't get me wrong, he's still funny, but he's just not hitting those same levels he would normally hit, in my opinion. I called this a rom-com, but the romance stuff is not very good. I don't feel any chemistry between Akeem and Lisa, and I know it's a comedy movie and maybe I'm looking a little too much into it. And not to mention there's this typical rom-com trope that one of the characters is hiding something from the other character, and when the one character finds out that the other character has a secret, it looks like they're not going to get together, but eventually they all get together anyway.
That makes sense.
Again, we've seen this all before. Coming to America is good fun. It's obviously not meant to be taken seriously. And it does feature Eddie Murphy at the peak of his comedic power. Some of the story elements are awfully generic and it does suffer from some of those rom-com tropes. But overall, I do still find enjoyment in it, even if I do feel like some of Eddie's other work is much better. Either way, I'm still going to give Coming to America the pleased Palpatine. Good. So have you seen Coming to America? I'm sure you have. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Got